What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Now, SummerSlam is over as Universal Champion Roman Reigns threw back the challenge of 16-time World Champion John Cena in the show's main event. However, the Tribal Chief had little time to celebrate as longtime nemesis Brock Lesnar has returned. However, why is the Beast Incarnate back in WWE in 2021? Why did he return at SummerSlam? Well, join us now as we look at the real reasons behind his return. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into the first one. Number 1, the WWE wanted to solidify SummerSlam's WrestleMania vibe. As the WWE made it clear as soon as it learned SummerSlam was being held with a large number of fans that it wanted the biggest party of the summer to double as this year's showcase of the Immortals. While WrestleMania 37 featured the return of fans, it was at limited capacity, which meant they didn't get to go all in on what's normally its biggest show of the year. Anyone scrutinizing SummerSlam will see the WWE went out of its way to provide some major matches, including the dream matches between Edge and Seth Rollins, John Cena and Roman Reigns, even though it's already happened, and even the one between Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. Yeah, it still kinda counts as a dream match. However, a big name pay-per-view is more than about matches, and the WWE wanted to throw in some surprises, as seen by the return of Becky Lynch and later Brock Lesnar. Number 2, the CM Punk problem. The WWE has a big problem thanks to CM Punk making a well-received debut at the promotion's rival All Elite Wrestling. Punk's return became the talk of the wrestling world, breaking the internet as fans welcome back their long-lost hero. As much as the WWE would like to dismiss Punk's relevance, his return saw incredible interest online, a rush for CM Punk merchandise that reportedly crashed a vendor's website due to incredible demand, and seemingly everyone talking about the Second City Savior's return. Did the WWE just suddenly become yesterday's news? Well, of course not, but as anyone with Vince McMahon knows, the WWE's head honchos believes that image is reality, so it's more than likely he wanted the momentum to swing to the WWE. In the end, Vince McMahon doesn't want anyone thinking of anything but the WWE when it comes to wrestling, hence the return of a huge name like Brock Lesnar. Lesnar is arguably the biggest card the WWE can play right now in terms of wrestlers who can actively compete. Number 3, fans love a surprise. Now, it's been said before, but it's always worth repeating that wrestling fans love a surprise, as long as it's handled correctly. Last night, SummerSlam featured 2 surprise returns, one which was handled terribly and another one handled very well. The horrible one, as detailed in our recap and analysis of SummerSlam, was the return of Becky Lynch, who came back and defeated Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship in a ridiculously short, less than 20 seconds match. On the other hand, fans have a riveting return as Brock Lesnar's music played and he menacingly made his way down to the ring to confront Roman Reigns. Would Lesnar attack Reigns? While it would have been exciting, they showed remarkable restraint as Lesnar's return was all that was needed. Number 4, it builds suspense. The WWE handled Lesnar's return expertly, perhaps owing to Paul Heyman's influence on the SmackDown side of things when it comes to Roman Reigns. They provided the fans with a great surprise through Lesnar's return, but didn't give the fans any idea what Lesnar wants other than continued dominance in the WWE. They kept the interaction between Lesnar and Reigns to a simple stare down, leaving fans anxious to see what's next for the two men. Naturally, this is exactly what the WWE wants, as they hope the WWE Universe will tune into SmackDown this week to see what's next, much as fans did when Roman Reigns returned to the WWE at 2020 SummerSlam. Number 5, Brock Lesnar likes easy money. Brock Lesnar is a man who lives in his own world, a lifestyle he's able to fund thanks to Vince McMahon's fondness of laying out large amounts of cash wherever he wants Lesnar. Just as house cats are tantalized by the sound of a can opener, Lesnar is rumored to come out of hiding whenever he hears the sound of Mr. McMahon opening the money vault at Titan Tower. Barring a complete change of policy, Lesnar will appear for a small number of dates and even smaller number of wrestling matches. As long as Vinnie Mac thinks Lesnar is delivering the goods in the ratings and pay-per-views, both men will see the relationship as a win-win situation. Number 6, the timing is right. Just like CM Punk's return, there's a lot to be said for the timing of Lesnar's return, as it's well known he doesn't work cheap. If the WWE is going to pay Lesnar the millions he usually commands, it's going to be the way that maximizes its profits, and there's no way that's going to happen unless there are fans paying to see Lesnar. Rumor has it that Lesnar told the WWE not to bother with him until the fans have returned. Still, the case can be made that Lesnar would prefer to wrestle in front of fans, as it only increases his value as one of wrestling's hottest commodities. And speaking of timing, it's unknown how long the WWE is wanting to bring Lesnar back, but we believe any second thoughts the promotion had about bringing him back were dispelled when CM Punk debuted in AEW. Number 7. Roman needs another sacrificial lamb. Roman Reigns continues to plow through opponents, whether it's family members like Jey Uso, existing stars like Cesaro and Kevin Owens, or legends like Edge, Daniel Bryan and John Cena. With rumors persisting that the WWE is doing everything it can to set up a WrestleMania showdown between Roman and his cousin The Rock, they need to keep Reigns looking strong, as fans wonder if anyone can stop the head of the table. The longer Reigns stays on top, the better the person who ultimately defeats him will look. Although the WWE does run the risk of fans tiring with Reigns' invincible act. However, the blue brand is running out of opponents to keep Reigns looking dominant, especially someone at main event level. Regrettably, Big E doesn't even seem ready for a match with Reigns, and fans might not be interested in Seth Rollins taking on Reigns given their previous bouts. However, it's been years since Brock Lesnar clashed with Roman Reigns, and as fans know, this was when Lesnar was a heel and Reigns was a babyface. The dynamics are much different, and there's an added element of Paul Heyman's allegiance. Will Heyman side with his current client Roman Reigns or return to being Lesnar's advocate? Finish to Lesnar vs Reigns may be certain, but the story that takes fans there should provide lots of interest for fans looking to invest further into the story of Reigns' dominant reign. Number 8. Lesnar is an easy opponent for Reigns. One of the less obvious advantages of bringing Lesnar in is that he provides Roman Reigns with a familiar opponent, someone who he's wrestled many times and who he won't have to make adjustments in his current ring style. Where things will get interesting is how Reigns incorporates his heel tactics into his matches against Lesnar, and whether this will affect the way one or both men work. As mentioned earlier, this should also add a fresh coat of paint to their matches despite having wrestled many times before. Number 9. Vince likes to throw money at problems. The WWE has had a number of problems lately despite posting record profits during the pandemic. First, the promotion continues to lose both fans and exciting fans' goodwill with its questionable booking. Second, the WWE has lost the trust of its network partners as it continues making questionable decisions such as releasing Bray Wyatt and revamping NXT. One way to fix the problem is to work to restore the fans' confidence with engaging storylines. Another is to work alongside network partners instead of making unilateral decisions with potentially long-term consequences. Naturally, the WWE isn't going to implement any of these solutions when Vince McMahon can do what he always does when the WWE faces a problem: throw money at it. The WWE have little long-term direction for Brock Lesnar, but as we've seen, Vince has already achieved some short-term goals by throwing what's likely a 7-figure sum at Lesnar. And number 10, it's another short-term fix. It's difficult to think of someone who loves to hotshot their wrestling promotion as Mr. McMahon, and Brock's comeback is just the latest example of his mercurial mind figuring out a short-term fix to the problems surrounding the WWE. Brock can serve a number of purposes, all of which we mentioned, but will Vince be able to accomplish any long-term goals with Lesnar's return? Looking at McMahon's track record, the answer seems to be a big no, but you can be sure McMahon thinks this time it will be different. But there you have it, guys, the reasons for Brock Lesnar's return. Were you guys surprised by his return? Let us know in the comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.